turn on your notification bell, you will still get those information you are looking for.
Appeal court justices that discharged and acquitted Nnamdi Kanu has been transferred, of course, by the federal government of Nigeria. So that's the report reaching us now, that they have transferred the justices of the appeal court that dismissed the 15 count terrorism charges preferred against Onyendo by the federal government of Nigeria. All right. So the appeal court, you will recall, held that Onyendo's extradition from Kenya to Nigeria did not follow due process and was a flagrant violation of Nigeria's extradition treaty and a breach of its fundamental human rights. So, and since then, the federal government has not been at peace with themselves. I mean, since the judgment, the federal government has been working hard to truncate the cause of justice in this country. And that is why they have transferred these people, because they have been harboring anger within themselves. And you see, so a particular memo has been sent out, and we got the memo. The memo indicates that these 3 justices has been transferred out of Abuja Appeal Court Division, and they have been transferred to the southeast, to the northeast. Yes. So of course, you know that there are 3 appeal court justices, the superintendent over that matter, and they are Justice Jumai Hanatu Sanki and Justice Oludotun Adetope Okoje and Justice Ebiowe Toby. You can call them the 3 wise men. Of course, even if there's a woman there, but they are men as long as the law is concerned, hence they are justices. So now these 3 wise men have been transferred. Of course, they have been transferred by the appeal court justice, the president of the appeal court, of course. The president of the appeal court has transferred them, and that is Justice Monica Dongban Mensem. That's her name. Monica Dongban Mensem has transferred this trio of Jumai Hanato Senki, Justice Oludotun Adedope Kukeje, and Ebiowe Toby. Now, Jumai Hanaki Senki, who was previously in the Gombe Division of the Court of Appeal, was transferred to Oka Division. Oludotun Adedope Okoje, he is the one that delivered the lead judgment, and he has been moved to Owerri Division. Ebiowe Toby, the 3rd member of the court panel, transferred to Gombe, Northeast. You have seen it? And so this is the way it is happening in Nigeria now. So Malami, the mediocre, who they appointed to be the number 1 law officer of the country, is still playing his own script. He has written a script, very dangerous script, and they have been acting on it. They have been playing it, that script. You see, so that is why they have been embarrassing themselves. The government has been embarrassing itself and its citizens on account of Nnamdi Kanu. Of course, nobody is challenging them. This Malami and his cohorts, they are bigots. These people are ethnic chauvinists. They are Islamic fundamentalists. Of course. So, but today they are in power, misusing authority. Because the Constitution of Nigeria provides enormous power to the president, and the president arrogates many powers to himself too, because he feels that nobody is challenging him. Of course, the Fulani people who feel that Nigeria is their own, they have held Nigeria down for several decades unchallenged, save Onyendo, who is challenging them this time around, and that's why the heat is on. No retreat, no surrender. The heat is seriously on, and that's why our people have come out and said, yes, this Onyendo's case will be Abacha Ibagu, Manibaga Hagu, Fulani Gagu. Yes, Fulani Gagu. So this is it. This is it. So, and the IPOB and their lawyers, heavily led by Chief Mike Ozekam SAN, is willing and ever ready to confront the federal government and the Malami in the court, provided it's within the ambit of the law. Of course, you know that the federal government will not do anything within the ambit of the law and the constitution. They will always go against it. They will always go outside the law to do the abracadabra. But they should have known that the abracadabra should have ended by now. If there are government who knows something, who know their owners, who is a government that people who are full of wisdom drives, they will know that they are taking their luck too far now. They should have known their limit and stop all this, grandstanding, and stop embarrassing themselves and bringing international discomfiture to their citizens, because they are taking their luck too far. They overpride themselves. They have lost it completely. From the other nations working group on human rights and arbitrary detention, they have known that this is a case they have lost in total. But dragging it further is to embarrass themselves and to put themselves in a very tight corner that it will be very difficult to extricate themselves. So that is it. So IPOB and this legal team is willing and ever ready to confront them. Look at what they're doing. Transferring the justices will not do anything. Do not stop the eventual defeat of the federal government. They must bow down in shame. Yes, it will never, evade their expected end, which is disrepute, which is discomfiture, embarrassment, all right, and the ultimate debacle. It will be a disaster of sort. They are about one administration, yes, and they will end in disaster. The government will end in disaster. That is it. A debacle of sort. So, but talking about the case of Onyendo, it will continue, it is a case that, the people of the Southeast, the Igbos, the Biafrans, are making frantic efforts that this one, nobody will toy with it. We are ever ready to see that victory is ours, because Chukwuka Abiyama is with the Biafrans. As simple as that. And so if you like, transfer everybody. They felt disappointed by the actions of these three wise men. So that's why they're transferring them now out of Abuja. You see? So that is it. But what they don't know is that they cannot predict the people who is coming there. And even the Supreme Court, they cannot predict them. They can say, oh, these people are our men. But you cannot predict them. It's Chukwuka who is working. He says the heart of men, the king, are in his hands. He directs them the way he wills. That's what God says. That's what the scripture says. The heart of the king and the emperors, and the field marshals, they are in the hands of God. He directs them of how he wants them to go. Okay? So that is it. Victory is ours. Government of Nigeria will bow in shame at last. All these things that are doing. Alright? Witch hunting people. You are transferring them because of the judgment they delivered. Is that witch hunting? You should have transferred them before the judgment. Judgment was delivered on the 13th of October. And after just barely, not up to a week, you transferred them. That shows how petty and pedestrian a government at the center